welcome to this episode of Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and I'm here with my very special guest, Alyssa Maria Coon. First of all, Alyssa, I want to say happy birthday.
Thank you.
So you're 17 today, correct?
Yes.
All right. So this time last year, you were putting out a single called 16, correct?
Yes, I was.
But baby, when you're with me, somehow I forget about the rest of the world. And every time you kiss me, boy, I ain't gonna lie, like being your girl. They might tell me that I'm too young. It ain't gonna last more than a few months, 'cause everybody was my age once. But you and me ain't anything like anybody, yeah. I think I'm falling in love. Boys making me fall in love at 16.
Tell me about the last year, from the time that the single came out, 16, and then just your life in general from 16 to 17. Was it a good year? Was it a great year?
I think it was a pretty good and successful year. I was really blessed to do some of the things that I did this year. Obviously with COVID and stuff, it was a little rough. Towards the beginning, like in January and everything, with like school being online and everything. But now everything is finally going slowly and surely back to normal. So everything is looking good and better, and I'm just having fun performing and writing and everything. So that's
Right.
good.
That's awesome. So your song 16, how did that come about?
Well, I wanted to write a song about falling in love at 16 because at the time I was in a relationship and I really was in love with the person, and I wanted to prove everyone wrong that you could fall in love at 16,
Okay.
which I did put out that song. So
Okay. Was it one of your more popular songs?
I think so. I think it was cool. Everybody enjoyed the lyrics because there was like a little funny, silly part in there. So
Okay. And now that you're 17, first of all, how are you going to be celebrating your birthday?
I am gonna keep it chill this year because I'm actually leaving to go out of town tomorrow. So I am just gonna hang out with one of my best friends, and we're gonna just chill and go to dinner, I think. So
No, nothing wrong with that.
yes.
So how did you get into the music industry? Was it something in particular that inspired you, or did you always just have this natural talent?
Well, when I was little, my parents noticed that I always used to sing songs from The Wizard of Oz at a really young age. And they were like, oh, that's a little like cool, like that I knew all the lyrics to the song. So then they put me in classical piano lessons, which I started when I was 6. And then after that, I started singing lessons and then guitar. And then I learned the drums and other percussive instruments. So ever since then, I've just been playing and singing and writing. So
Okay. So you're very well-rounded. You mentioned Wizard of Oz. What was your favorite song from Wizard of Oz?
I feel like it's gonna be really basic if I say "Somewhere Over the Rainbow," but I know that that's definitely the song that was on repeat in my head.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby.
It's definitely a good song. That whole movie was filled with a bunch of good songs, and it was
Yeah.
definitely a movie that just kind of changed everything with the movie industry back then, and the musicals as well. So you said, all these different instruments that you do play. Do you have a favorite?
Yes, and it's definitely guitar. I just got a new guitar. You can see it right back there.
Okay.
I got a Nashville Telecaster, and I'm obsessed with it because now I have both my dream guitars. I'm not playing my dream acoustic guitar right now because there's something. Well, it's a long story. But anyway, I have a Taylor 814 Deluxe V Class acoustic guitar, and I'm in love with that guitar. And my dream guitar was the Nashville Telly, and so I actually got it as a birthday present from my parents. So I haven't stopped playing it since I got it.
Oh, that's awesome. And you currently have a song out right now called "Put It Down." Tell me a little bit about that song.
So at this time, I was actually still crushing on a person, and anytime they would text me, I was never able to put my phone down until they texted me back. And I know a lot of people my age struggle with the fact of always worrying if they're getting left on open or left on seen when someone like sees your text and they don't respond, or like just like worrying that something's wrong because they're not texting back fast enough. So I wanted to write a song that everybody can relate to, especially me. So
And it's not just your age. I think everybody goes through that at some point or another. But my generation, we just kind of waited by the phone. So it wasn't so much that we were looking for that text. We were waiting for that phone to ring. So it was just a little bit different, but the same theme. And
yeah.
that is true that, everybody can relate to that. Would you like to play that for us today?
Sure. This one's called Put It Down. The sun is setting through those blinds, through the window pane. You're still the last thing on my mind at the end of the day. Reaching out to grab my phone. Boy, I guess I should have known. Since it didn't ever light up, you ain't thinking about me. It's 3 a.m., I'm staring at the ceiling fan spinning. What feels like hours has only been a few minutes of trying to distract myself and think about something else. But then my whole world stops when it finally rains. You'll never see my smile from your side of the screen whenever you need shoulder. And you'll never know what's doing to me and how it's making my heart drop. You know just what to do and just what to say. If I'm there with you miles away, and you touch my phone before you came around. Now I can't ever put it down. Yeah, I can't. I can still remember the night of our first date. No, you couldn't walk me to the door 'cause it was pouring down rain. For I couldn't even grab my keys. You already texted me right there. I was falling in love, but when I turned around, you were already gone. You'll never see my smile from your side of the screen whenever your name shows up. And you'll never know what it's doing to me, making my heart drop. You know just what to do and just what to say. If I'm there with you miles away, didn't touch my phone before you came around. Now I can't ever put it down. You know I can't ever put it down. Yeah. Whoa. Reaching out to grab my phone. Boy, I guess I should have known that you'll never see my smile from your side of the screen whenever your name shows up. And you'll never know what's doing to me and how it's making my heart drop. You know just what to do and just what to say. If I'm there with you miles away, didn't touch my phone before you came around. Now I can't ever know I never touched my phone before you came around. Now I can't ever put it down. You know I can't ever put it down. Yeah, I can't.
This is Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and you just heard Alyssa Marie singing her latest song, Put It Down. So you're still in high school, correct? What grade are you in?
I'm a junior in high school.
You're a junior. How does that work for you? Do you go to public school or do you do it online?
I go to public school right now.
Okay. And so how does that work when you're doing all your schoolwork and trying to take care of that, but then on the weekends you're playing all these gigs and um, how does that work out with your schedule and how does that work out with your social life?
Well, I'm really grateful that I have a bunch of supportive friends that always like come to my shows and then we'll hang out like after or we're just hanging out at my show is pretty awesome. Um, that's pretty exciting. During the week, I always have like rehearsals or I'm at band practice or I have chorus for school or vocal lessons. So that gets pretty crazy during the week, but I love being busy, so that's one thing that I really like actually. I know that sounds like pretty weird to say, but so somehow in between all of that, I fit in my homework and studying, which I don't even know how I do it, but I am able to maintain pretty good grades. So that's good.
When you have a lot of energy, it's a lot easier to do that. So, what aside from music, do you have a particular favorite subject or a least favorite subject?
My least favorite subject has to be math. And I know that they say usually people that are involved in like music and music theory are really good at math, but I can prove that statement wrong because I took AP music theory and I did very well. And I am so bad at math. I just can't ever grasp a hold on it. But I actually think my favorite subject has to be like literature because it's like everything in that class is about like poetry and like I think that's pretty much down my alley because I'm always writing songs and stuff. So that's a good class for me. That has to be my favorite class.
Oh, that makes sense. And or do you have any college plans?
Yes, my main college that I'm looking at right now is MTSU, which is in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's Middle Tennessee State, and they have an awesome commercial music program there. So I'm thinking of majoring in music business right now.
Okay.
That's my plan as of right now.
All right. And do you have any time for anything else? It doesn't sound like it, but I would assume that you at least have maybe some other hobbies or anything like that.
I really don't. Sometimes I do kickboxing. Well, not I do kickboxing when I can fit it into my schedule, which is really fun. But pretty much nothing besides music and just like socializing in school. I guess that's basically it.
Well, that's enough right there. So you're a songwriter, correct?
Yes.
And where does your inspiration come to write your songs? Is it all from your personal life, or do you draw from anywhere else?
I think it's a mixture of both personal life and like made up uh like made up scenarios. It kind of depends on what mood I'm in. Like right before this, I actually had a song idea. So after this, I'm definitely gonna go try to write that. But it comes to me anywhere. Like I can be sitting in math class and just have an idea, and I'll take out my phone and write it in my notes, and then eventually come back. Like I have like a whole thing of like Apple Notes on my phone that you could scroll through. That's just random song ideas that I have no idea when they came to my brain, but that I can sometimes use one day if I'm ever feeling it too. So it kind of just depends.
Do you start with the lyrics, or is it a melody, or sometimes either or?
It's either or. I could be playing something on the guitar and think like, "Oh, that would be cool for a song," and then try to write from there. It kinda just depends also on what mood I'm in and the vibe I'm feeling.
Okay. And I saw that you worked with Steel Ivory, correct?
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that and how that went.
Well, they are awesome. I love them. They are such great songwriters, and I actually co-wrote my song "Oblivious" with them.
I'm showing all the signs, read between a line, heart beating so fast. You have no idea that I'm into you, boy. You need to get a clue. You're so oblivious. I think I make it kinda obvious when I trip over my words and act a little nervous. You got me wondering why you're so oblivious. I think I make it kinda hard to miss when I'm moving too close and wait for you to notice. You got me doing this 'cause you're so oblivious. Yeah.
We just recently co-wrote a song that I'm going to be recording very soon that I love, and it's based off of something that really happened in my life that I was going through at the time that I co-wrote with them. So I'm really excited to eventually put that out there. But they're awesome to co-write with. I have so much fun with them. They're just so awesome.
All right. Well, you heard that here on first on Pink's Corner that there's a
Mm.
project in the works. Um, so, is there anybody in particular that you would like to work with, whether it's in the writing process or up on stage? Is there anybody that you just like, oh, I would die to work with that artist?
This is pretty like I think this is pretty expected what I'm about to say, but Taylor Swift. I think I literally like would die. The second you said that, I was thinking there's a bunch of people that I would like be so happy to work with. But Taylor Swift, I'm going through like a major Taylor Swift phase. I have my whole life like been a huge Taylor Swift fan, but since she just released Red Taylor's version, like it's back on. Like my knob has been switched back on to Taylor mode. So if I ever like worked with her, sang with her, wrote a song with her anywhere, if she walked in this room right now, I could just drop. I would drop dead on the floor. Like that's how like I am. I love her.
Well, you're one of many people that would love to be able to do that,
That
uh,
is true.
and I did get to meet Taylor's mom many years ago, but I have not met Taylor herself,
Well, that's
uh,
still closer than I've been to her, so
and I have no problem. She would love to come on my show, so I have the same dreams and aspirations that you do to some extent as well. Do you have anything that else that you would like to sing for us today?
well, I right before Put It Down in July, I released a new single called Real Good Night, which is basically about just living it up. And since I wrote this song right after I got my license last year, I just wanted to write a song about going in the car, putting the windows down, and blasting music, having the music blare through the radio. So I wanted to write a song about that. So this one's called Real Good Night. No GPS, turn off your phone. We don't need it on this two-lane road. What would you say if I got a way to let all our worries go? Full tank gas, four-wheel drive. We're cruising down I-95. Let's break the rules in this curfew and leave the world in our rear view. Whoa, put your hands at the rooftop window. Take a spot on the map nobody knows. We'll be singing every word our speakers are blaring through the radio. Whoa, as soon as that sun starts falling down, I know I'll raise a little hell on the town. Right about now to me that sounds like a real good night. Whoa, whoa, like a real good night. Walk the streets to the downtown clubs, finding old beach chair, lay under the sun. Go get lost on a no-name road in the middle of nowhere. Call up your friends, invite them out. If the cops show up, wanna shut it all down. Party till the sun comes up. This ain't nobody ever stopping us. Whoa, put your hands at the rooftop window. Take a spot on the map nobody knows. We'll be singing every word our speakers are blaring through the radio. Whoa, as soon as that sun starts falling down, I know I'll raise a little hell out in town. Right
That's Real Good Night by Alyssa Marie Coon here on Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr. And I must say that I do really like that song. That's one that I've played kind of over and over. So if it was a record, it'd probably be worn out right now. Uh,
Aw, thank you.
and so I got to see you just recently at the Old Red in Orlando. I guess you perform there quite often, correct?
Yes, I do.
And you do a lot of Florida shows because you're based here in South Florida. Do you ever get to travel out of the state and do some shows outside of Florida?
I do. Every time when I try, oh my gosh, sorry. When I travel to Nashville, I always try to get some shows up there. So that's pretty awesome. And then actually this coming week in I'm leaving tomorrow to go to West Virginia and I have a gig up there, which is super fun. I perform all around, like all over Tennessee and West Virginia and all around Florida. So
Okay, so if you're out there in West Virginia, you need to check out Alyssa Marie Coon. Now, so you got your birthday coming up. We also got Thanksgiving and Christmas, so you got a pretty busy season. Do you have any special things that you have to eat on Thanksgiving? Is there any traditions you have?
My family always cooks like turkey and like the traditional. Sorry, I cannot speak right now. The traditional like Thanksgiving foods. There's nothing that I would necessarily have to eat. I would have to say like stuffing, because that's usually what my whole meal consists of. It's like a little turkey and like stuffing. So,
And I love everything too, but I also can't wait to get to desserts. Do you have a favorite dessert that you like?
I would have to say pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin pie is good. I'll do that, but I also do pecan pie. It's probably just a step above the pumpkin pie for me. And then
Wow.
as far as Christmas, have you started get ready for Christmas yet? Is it too early for you?
I personally, and this is something that might contradict some what some people believe, but I don't say that Christmas starts until after my birthday. Like I just because I'll get tired of hearing Christmas music, and I love Christmas music, so I don't want to like overdo it until like November 20th. Like that's when we can start playing Christmas music.
See,
I
and I
love Christmas though. I really don't wanna get sick of, like, Christmas music, because that's, like, what's so awesome about Christmas is the music.
Yeah, and
Oh
I'm
my
a
god.
little different. I won't decorate till after Thanksgiving, but a little Christmas music here and there, I don't mind a little bit earlier. So, do you want to give us your website for everybody to? Because you're on all the platforms, though, correct?
Yes. So
Okay,
my
but
website is alyssamariecoonmusic.com, and my Facebook is Alyssa Marie Coon Music, and my Instagram and Twitter is at Alyssa Marie Coon.
all right. So check her out. You definitely want to follow her. I definitely appreciate you coming on the show, and you're more than welcome to be a guest anytime. And being that you are based here in South Florida, you can guarantee that I'll be at a few more of your shows as well.
Aw, thank you. It was so great seeing you there.